Welcome to That Young Cineast. This is our first ever episode. I'm joined by our moderator, Emma, and our forever guest star, Kaelin.
Hey.
Hello. So, first episode. How are we feeling? How are you guys prepared for this year-long journey?
I'm excited. I feel like there's no going back now. We started it. We
Yeah,
said
I
it's a
know.
year long. We have to go.
Everything is set up.
I
And
know.
so, first off, I'm going to give us a little background. My name is Matthew, and I'm That Young Cineast. Or Cineast, whatever. However you say it, I'm going to say
Cineast.
Cineast, it doesn't matter. Basically, in this whole podcast, I'm going to be doing everything I can to be learning about the film industry, reaching out to other people, and basically networking, I guess, is what I learned. And I'm doing this with my cousins, Emma and Kaelin. Emma, right now, college student. She's just there, moderating us.
Making sure we stay on track.
Making sure we stay on track. And Kaelin is a freelance photojournalist, where I refer to him for a lot of questions. So, as you probably already know, this is a year-long podcast where we're going to have recurring episodes every month. And it's just a journal, basically, like I'm writing in a diary and like checking in, but they're here for me to bounce ideas off. And like, the reason why this is happening now, because I have like a past with film and filmmaking, and I've only decided to start documenting this seriously now, is because I'm realizing that as I'm getting older, I'm going to have to make a decision sooner or later on what I want to do, or like how much effort I want to put into this dream. And I'm basically going to take 2025 to learn as much as I can to make the decisions I need when I like graduate high school or something like that. So, yeah. Basically, in 2025, I'm going to take the most realistic way of learning how to enter the film industry, or learning about the film industry. Because a lot of what I see in the media is all these people like get shot up straight to the front lines, or like 15-year-olds getting cast in these big movies, and like directors getting the chances because they come from a lot of money, and like they can go places that I necessarily can't, and it's unrealistic from my perspective. And the most important part of this podcast is that I'm going to learn how to edit audio, and that's all I really need to do to become like a well-rounded filmmaker, is learn all these avenues that I can. And this is my excuse of editing once or twice a month, which is going to be fun.
Yeah, so quick question. You say this podcast is a wonderful way to get some audio practice in and get a good idea of what that looks like. Do you have any larger goals for your filmmaking?
Yeah, I do. The reason why there's going to be like two episodes a month is because one episode is just going to be a general check-in and a conversation with each other. And another episode is going to be going over a scene that I write every month. So every month I've set a goal to write a scene and spend that whole month writing the scene. And we're going to go over it together, and we're going to read it, and I'm going to explain all the thought, the genre I wanted to put, and like basically explain the whole thing and get feedback and critiques.
No, I think I'm most excited about that. I know like our conversations are going to be interesting for sure, but I think there's just something I'm looking forward to seeing how your writing kind of improves over the year.
That's the goal.
Like,
Because
I saw briefly your. Maybe we can talk about it next episode because we'll be doing the first scene then. But I saw briefly your idea list when it comes down to like writing these scenes, and I saw there's a section for genres. There's a section for like I forget what the other one was, but I don't know if you want to talk about it now or the next episode. But I was just like interested in seeing how you were coming up with these ideas for these scenes?
So like right now, I have like a list of genres and settings and stuff, but I'm not sure if I want to pick or choose it yet, or like make it random. But one thing I really want to do is to set a random generator on how many pages it's going to be. Because like I've written a 60-page screenplay, and that's like one of the biggest things I've ever written. But a realistic approach to like the film industry I saw is like short films. No one jumps into making a feature film right away. So like I need to learn how to write shorter scenes, because I want, like, in stories, I want scenes to be long, and all these stories that I've written, like all these screenplays that I've written before, have like a ton of scenes, and it's not realistic to shoot from like where I am at 16 years old and no money, no job,
And I
no
think
crew.
even from the projects that we've worked on, I think it's not even just because the rule of thumb is a page of dialogue is like a minute of dialogue. But I think even with yours, you have a lot of moments where it's just panning or there's just a lot of camera work. And so even if it's X amount of pages, it could be longer because a little part of that is just, you know, X,
Stage direction, stuff
stage.
like
Yeah,
that.
exactly. Camera
Yeah, and
movements,
like
camera shots.
me writing like 60 pages or like 30 pages, I know if I try to film that's not getting done. 30 minutes of film is like hours of filming and prep, and we've attempted to do that in the past, did not work out. I mean, we'll go further into it in like another episode
Yeah.
for sure, but what I'm referring to is like at some point in like 2022, I wanted to like really write. I learned how to screenwrite and stuff like that, like the basics. Once I learned how to screenwrite, I'm obviously gonna write something big. I like watching movies, and I haven't discovered short films by at that time. I knew it was just hour-long movie or hour-and-a-half movie.
Or even 30
That's what the
minutes.
medium. Yeah.
15, 30
So like
minutes.
I wrote a large screenplay. I gave it to Kaelin and Emma, and Kaelin was like, "This is too long," or like, "This is not realistic," and I was like, "We're gonna do it. It's summer break, and it's gonna happen." Did not happen. We attempted to film so many things, barely got through it.
Have we only finished one project?
Did we even finish that
I
project?
don't think you were on that one. It was the one that Matthew did for like an open house thing.
Oh yeah, we finished that. I
That's like
submitted a short film to my school like competition, but it wasn't even a competition, and like no one heard it. But like,
So you
But
I'm
it's
won.
glad.
it's online. It's online at least.
Yeah, it's on my school YouTube.
So at least it's somewhere you can put it on your
Mhm.
portfolio, your resume that you have that done.
I mean that was one of my first attempts at writing shorter scenes and like shortening the plot to like 5 minutes. I don't even know how long that was, but like I'm shooting for being able to write a 5 minute short that's like meaningful and like has a message and stuff like that.
You had to. There was a time limit though. It was like five.
I think so.
I think it was
Yeah.
five,
It's
10
been
minutes,
like
something like that. But
I
yeah,
think that was like last year. Yeah.
yeah.
I haven't since then. I haven't really done anything, so that's why in 2025 I'm like, let's get this done. This is serious.
That was my
Let's start doing more
favorite
things.
thing that you've written. Actually, it was actually really good. It was grounded. I think you have a lot of ideas in the past that are kind of super. What is it called? Science fiction, supernatural science fiction. It's science fiction based, and this one was the first one that I've read of yours that was uh, just regular life, regular
Yeah.
people, and it was emotional and it was good. We can talk about it later, obviously. I don't know if we'll
Yeah.
talk about it now, but
But like previous things, I was just trying to write what I saw on screen, and like watching Marvel and all these like psycho thrillers like Inception, that influenced like the big project that we were talking about. That influenced that a lot. But trying to make that happen at like 14 years old
on a
with
shoestring
little
budget,
DSLR,
no budget.
yeah, no, it's not happening.
Yeah.
But I want to get there someday. That's the whole point of documenting all this, is to give myself the reason to come back and tell you about things that I've reached out to do, or like things that I want to happen, and like just go somewhere.
I think something with the scenes too, and I meant to say this earlier, is just I wouldn't. I know you want to write shorter scenes, but when you write the scene, I don't know if you should necessarily go into it saying it has to be this amount of pages long. It has to be this amount of time. Like, I think you should just write it, whatever comes out, wherever you feel the scene going. Because even when I'm writing, I write short stories and stuff, but when I'm writing stories, sometimes I let the scenes kind of just play out because I feel like the characters are guiding a scene and you kind of feel like where the characters are going to take you. It isn't until you come back to it that you can start cutting out the parts that you think are not needed as much, or if you want to make it shorter, then you can say, okay, I can take out these 2 pages, or I can cut it down to X amount of pages then. But I don't think you should go into it with the mindset of it needs to be this pages first.
Oh, okay.
I think
Yeah,
it'll just make it easier for you. And then obviously if it's a longer scene, we can always run through it here.
But just to get a baseline, what does your creative flow in terms of writing these scenes looks like right now?
Oh, I don't know if I can get my notebook. I'll get my notebook really quickly.
Hits his microphone and
I know, right?
wow, unprofessional. Red shorts and a
literally
white t-shirt.
$10, that's his PE shorts.
Those are his PE shorts. Those are his old PE shorts.
What's going on? I heard talking.
I said you're unprofessional.
Is that a heated blanket, Matthew? Aww.
Yes, it is.
Are you cold?
Yes. Okay. So this is my notebook. This is my notebook. I bring it to school every day, and when we're done with work, I probably open it and do something if I can. So monthly scenes right here. This is the page. For January, I've already written the scene, so next time we meet, we're gonna read it over. Hopefully it's good. Action, thriller, and in a park. So, I don't know how these things come up in my head, but I put agent finally talks to wanted criminal, but like, that one sentence doesn't describe what I wrote. I fleshed out the story a little bit more, but like, any scenario that's cliche, I try to avoid it. Because, like, what I was going for originally was agent finally talks to wanted criminal at the end of the movie. Like, I'm placing this scene at some point in the whole larger plot of something. But I'm just trying to make that one scene meaningful. And, like, that's what I'm trying to do is get, like, something out of the scene and, like, get a development out of the scene. My previous scenes I've written, nothing really happens. It's just a happenstance that moves the story forward, but I'm trying to flesh out more characters. So if I write like agent finally talks to wanted criminal, I'm going to go into that wanted criminal and what he wants and what the agent wants.
I see. So your focus is, or more your creative process looks like you having a specific idea of an important plot piece, and then you focus in on a specific character and that specific and how that specific character moves through the scene and grows from it. And is that what you write from?
I'm trying to, at least. Like, if I know I was reading the scene that I wrote, and I know it's probably going to be clunky in January, but hopefully by December, it flows like... When I was watching The Godfather recently, every single one of the characters has, like, paragraphs that they say, but it flows in between the characters. Like, they go back and forth in the character, and it just works. And that's the goal, ultimate goal.
I think being able to write good dialogue in any situation is ideal for storytelling. So,
yeah. I'm just trying to not say that, like, oh, I dropped my keys. Let me go pick it up.
oh darn,
You know?
here I go,
Yeah.
bending down and picking up my keys that you saw me drop.
Is that the principal, who is also my dad? Like,
Ever since we've been in school, since we've known each other since second grade, I feel like you are the more funny one and I am the more serious one.
I believe from a writing standpoint, creating compelling dialogue is very difficult. So what is your plan to improve? You said you are watching a lot of these different movies to take notes, but is there any other strategy that you're doing besides keep on writing? Is what I'm asking.
No, I'm gonna keep it real. No, not really.
Okay.
Like
So it's
the
just
only
movies
part of
and
improvement that
creative
I'm
writing.
gonna start is from you guys. Like anything you guys bring up, I'm probably gonna work on it in the next month. Not probably. I'm definitely gonna work on it in the next month. So it's just a feedback loop that I'm trying to.
Yeah, I hope we can provide that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully.
I think. Well,
I mean,
I think we should, when we see your first scene, we can see what things you might want to work to do, and be able to provide more suggestions as to how to work on that. But
I
I'm
think
excited.
the one thing I'm bracing myself for is just for January to be terrible. Like I'm bracing myself to be able to read that and then you guys to just tear it down. And that's what you guys are supposed to be doing. But it's first time I'm probably going to be getting like constant feedback from some of these things cuz I'll film something and put it out, but not a lot of people come back with feedback. And it's usually only Kaelin or like Emma. So I'm ready for any critiques, anything to happen. Hopefully.
People read it and they're just like, "This sucks. Give up.
Shut it down.
Shut it down. Stop.
Close the book."
Don't go the whole year. I'm telling you already. End it.
On the topic of other goals, other than writing a scene, I bought Masterclass. I don't know if that's gonna be helpful, but like I'm trying to go through all of these masterclasses from like Ron Howard or like something.
Spike Lee has one
Erkin?
too.
I have a whole wish list or like list that I want to go through in masterclass, but like it's watching a video for like 30 minutes and I'm like I could be watching a YouTube video. It sometimes gets boring, you know? So masterclass for me is like I'm trudging along. I know I should do it, but like I'm trying to find time that I actually want to do it and I will actually listen to what's happening.
Yeah, I don't. I've never. I think I've seen like masterclass when friends or family have had it, and I've like watched an episode, whatever episode they're watching. I think we've watched one together at some point, or you've shown me some bit of something.
Probably,
but I've never used masterclass, so I can't say if it's helpful or not. But I'm sure. I mean, these are professionals in the field. These are masters, literal masters at their craft. So I think you can gain something. I think the one part about it that isn't necessarily super helpful is you're not doing the activities, or you're not like actually putting into practice. I know you can see some people practicing their craft and learning from those critiques, I think, when they're doing like screenwriting classes and stuff. But as like for you, I mean, I would just try to find practical ways to, on top of that, to
yeah. The thing about it is
practice.
like it's a very general thing that they're talking about. They're like, oh, I gotta go to my cinematographer and talk to them for over a coffee, and then we get it done. Like, and then we plan out the whole movie, and that's it. And then we went to go shoot with all these people. They set up the lights, they filmed this, and I told the actors what to do. Like, oh, cool. That's just what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I think I feel like there's even YouTube videos that go more in depth than that actually show you the process of how they were able to film certain scenes, or like in their own short films, and how they worked with actors and their thought processes behind certain things.
Give me a second.
Oh, you're good.
You good?
I know, it's like right in the middle of my little thing, but it's fine. It's okay.
Oh, were you monologuing?
I was.
Sorry, I like totally tuned out.
I was.
And then keep this in. I don't know. Changing the battery, guys. My DSLR is dying. Uh-oh.
I love when the podcaster person isn't even prepared.
Stop. My legs are sweating after that blanket. Okay.
You put in the battery, realized the battery was dead, changed out the battery.
Okay. So right now I'm charging 2 batteries.
What battery died?
Someone didn't
Your-
charge his
Shut up.
batteries.
Dude, yesterday I had 2 that were 100%, and then I guess what's happening right now is like it's okay. It's something that happens. We can continue talking. Welcome
What happens?
welcome to filmmaking as a 16-year-old,
I
you
have no
know?
idea.
I'm an irresponsible teen.
Yeah, but we're changing that. Don't worry.
Yeah,
You'll be
that's what this year's
responsible
about.
very soon.
Rule 1 of
Okay.
filming: always
This is-
charge your batteries.
Okay, I thought about it. Yes, this morning.
What happened to this being serious?
Yeah.
Well, 2025 is serious, okay? 2025 is serious. This is not like I don't think this is gonna get me the opportunities. I mean, maybe. Honestly, maybe.
You never know.
But like, I don't think it's gonna get me the opportunities that like other things I'm doing can get me. You know,
That's true.
I'm obviously gonna put a lot of work into like editing and like making this the highest quality I can. But as you can tell, it's
See,
not
that's
off to a
him
great start.
backtracking. That's him really.
Oh,
He was
right,
just
right.
talking. He was just talking bad about how he's not going to put effort into this, and now he's like, no, I will though. I will.
Well, okay, guys. All right.
Because
supposed to be
isn't life
easy.
in
I
the
don't
little
really care about
moments
it.
and details and not the big events?
Well, anyways, moving on to the rest. And as the battery's charging, I'm gonna talk about one other goal or something that I'm doing.
Is this
Okay.
how we're doing it? You're just gonna be.
I'm gonna be completely honest. This is what happened. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the podcast.
That's the clip right there.
Yes. Okay. Well, you don't script out a podcast, you guys. It just happens. It just happens.
You also charge your cameras. That happens.
Okay, moving on. So, in 2025, I'm also reading a book. I'm gonna give you the title of this book that I've had for like a year and a half that I haven't really started reading. It's called Cinematography for Directors by Jacqueline B. Frost. So basically, in the book, she interviewed a bunch of cinematographers on and directors on the relationship between each other. Cinematography was a very vague creative job that I didn't really understand from all my research that I've done, like all these YouTube videos, all the master classes, all these things. It never really defines clearly what a relationship between the director and the cinematographer is. But by reading this book, I'm getting the sense of it more. So like, I'm currently in a section where it describes like color theory and all these like mood and color stuff. But I just came from the section of lenses and like how these decisions are made. And like, there's a section at the end of every chapter that says what a director should know about the script, or know about the chapter. So it's like a really helpful insight into how things get done behind the scenes of the behind the scenes, basically. Because when I see when behind the scenes footage of major movies comes out, yes, you're kind of behind the scenes, but like it doesn't really give you a lot of information on how it got made. Like the director would say, I went to wardrobe and they conjured up this famous outfit that's now iconic and stuff like that. But like, I want to know more into what kind of conversations happen.
Yeah, it's really surface level because I mean, those bonus features are for people who are just watching for the fun of it, so they're going to throw entertainment into it. They're going to be just going to keep it light. But someone like you, yeah, you're probably looking at the cameras as they're walking by. I know I do that, and it's just like, what cameras are they using? Like, what's their thought process behind this? Why is that tagged? Why is that not tagged? Like, what, you see people talking in the background. It's like, what are they talking about? How are they actually working?
How are those
this.
people in that like video village or cart over there, what do they do? How are they helping?
Yeah, well, what is each person doing to
Yeah.
actually put this together? Because there's like 50 to 50 plus people around, and you're just like, what do you? Everyone has a job here.
Mhm.
Like, what?
And then
is
they're
your
only
job?
interviewing the director and the lead actor
Yeah, yeah.
and the writers. That's it. I want to know more. I want to get behind the scenes of the behind the scenes. Come on, let me in to the set. I'll talk to everyone there.
The way I understand your 2025 goals is that you have signed up for master classes and you hope to take them and learn the what I understand to be technical skills of filmmaking. And then you're also sitting down to write a scene every month to practice the writing skills of filmmaking and improving in making impactful dialogue and dialogue that has a message, as you say. And you're reading this cinematography book to give you a more big picture idea of how cinema is created in the big field.
Absolutely. I'm trying to stretch every muscle that I can and finding out more muscles, and I'll stretch that too. Every
Do you
muscle.
ever feel that you're stretching yourself too thin?
No, I don't think I'm stretched as far that it's too thin. And I know enough about screenwriting and editing that they're still, like, they're useful. I'm not going to dive deep into everything about screenwriting. I'm not going to learn the history or, like, all these things. I'm learning what's useful. I'm gathering all the tools to make a short film. I'm gathering everything I can to understand how professional short films are made and how these people get into like all these festivals and get the production like quality that they get, and what kind of people bring that, and what kind of jobs are they doing. So I'm just trying to get the overall general education of the industry, and then at some point make my like entrance in some
So
way.
is your goal to enter the film industry in order to make meaningful content? Or do you believe making meaningful content will allow you to enter the film industry?
Oh, meaningful content.
I think it's
Kaylin?
both. I think it's both. Just from seeing other people go into it, I think people have had to work hard in creating content so that they get views, so they can get attention, and then once they have that attention, then they can keep on making meaningful stuff. Or sometimes they do dumb things just to get attention, get into the public's eye, and then once they have that, then they can go on and do meaningful things. I think, and I don't know how much this is true, but I've heard that people who do Wes Anderson films, they don't make a lot of money because they're smaller budgets, they're indie films. And people say, I'll take on this big blockbuster action film just so that I have the money so that I can go and then do a Wes Anderson film because that's where my heart actually lies. And it's kind of that give and take where I think you're always giving and taking, where you're always trying to do meaningful things on the bottom line of things, but how you get there, if you have to do something bigger, something crazier, something weirder, I think some people have to go through that avenue. But I don't know. That's up to you.
Right now is doing like, not a lot of my projects are going to be meaningful, but it's to be like using these skills and like using what I learned to like improve the skills. So right now this podcast is something I could come back to and like improve my editing skills, my like, since we're doing visual stuff like with the camera and also audio, I get a handful of those like every month. It's like a constant exercise that I'm going to be putting myself through for 2025, and like just building upon what I'm learning, and like I'm able to take what I learned every month and put it into something, a project, like either if it's writing or like I want to film like a promo video for this or something like that, like a creative promo video. That's when I could like stretch my muscles or like do all these things while also having this backbone of being able to just edit something like simple and regular, like this podcast, of like the video version of the podcast and the audio version of the podcast. So I have something stable throughout the year while also having like the time and ability to jump into a creative project if I want to along the whole year. So just building upon everything I have and know. Let me go over a recent rundown of what happened. Like, it's only January 19th as of filming this, and I don't think I can remember everything that happened, but I think a lot happened in like terms of meeting new people and like trying new things. One thing I do know that I remember is that I applied for my school's theater in a tech position for the next like production that they're doing. I did the application. I sent in an audio and lighting reel. Like I took clips from everything I've done and put it into a reel because I heard it was going to be very tech heavy. Like they're going to be relying on the tech a lot. And I haven't been a tech in theater before. Like they're going to be, I'm a random person applying to them, but I need to show them that I know what I'm doing, sort of. Like I think I can apply all these principles to the same thing that's going to be happening in the theater. Made like the decision to put that across in the form. There's no links. Put your links here for real in the form. I just put the Google Drive link. Anyone with the link can view it into the Google form. And it's been a week now, and I don't think I got accepted. Maybe next semester in like August or September. That's definitely gonna come back up.
Yeah, just try again, man.
I think that's really good practice. And we talked about this in a previous conversation, but a big part of taking on such a large project is being able to sell how passionate you are about this project and how good you are at doing or having the skills that you have, being able to sell that to these positions that you want to apply to. So I believe that's good practice. Even if you feel like you did not get in, it's a good start.
And rejection is a big part of any job in industry too, so just getting used to that.
I heard it's a big part of this industry.
It is.
So something that I definitely have to get used to, because at this moment, no one's going to hire a weird, unknown 16-year-old to edit for them. You know?
Not with that energy.
I mean, now, I guess so. That's true. But, like, that's being realistic.
Not with that energy.
Okay, well.
I think the field is really saturated. There's, hundreds of people going to film school, maybe like thousands of people going to film school every year. And, not all of them are employed in the field. And it's just, it's hard to get jobs. It's hard to get casting calls. It's hard to be in crew and in things. So doesn't mean you're not qualified. It just means that there's maybe someone more qualified.
Yeah,
or
for sure.
They just have the connections. I think you mentioned that before. They know somebody, and that's how they got the in.
That's another thing that I'm definitely gonna be doing is talking to more people. And if I got into that production, I would definitely talk to everyone there and get to know everyone there, especially like behind the scenes or actor, everyone. Bro. A quick rundown of everything that we talked about. This is a year-long podcast. We're going to be coming back twice a month. And in the next episode will be the second episode of January. In that episode, we're going to be going over a scene that I wrote this month. And that's going to happen every month. The recurring things that I'm going to be bringing up are me watching masterclasses, what I learned from those. Reading my cinematography book for directors. I'm going to be bringing that up like probably often. So that's going to be going on this whole year.
Nice. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. I'm obviously going to be joined by my cousins this whole time. They're going to be along here supporting me, even if they're probably may not be able to be recording with us. Well, I've been that young Cineast. Cineaste, whatever you want to say. Thank you to our guest star, Kaelin.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
I think we're done.
Sick.
Very cool. Dang,
So
you're not going to thank your moderator? That's wild.
Oh,
I just
sorry.
pulled all of these questions out of my ass, and you guys were just like, okay. Yummy.
Well, I don't see the notes. Yeah, Matthew, you're the host. I'm the guest star.
Yeah, you thank the guest star and then end the show. Dang.